Wait, what just happened? You're not gonna believe this, but a record in K-pop history has just been broken. And not by a group, not by an industry legend, but by one man. A dancer, a vocalist, a storyteller, a soul that millions have connected with, Jimin. This isn't just another news headline. This is the kind of moment that makes you pause, smile, and realize you're witnessing history in real time. And the story behind it? Oh, it's nothing short of incredible. Let's rewind a bit. When Jimin first stepped out as a solo artist, fans were excited, but no one could have predicted this. His debut solo album, Face, was already groundbreaking, raw, vulnerable, a deep reflection of emotion, identity, and healing. It wasn't just music, it was a letter from Jimin's soul to the world. And people listened, really listened. Then came MUSE, and if Face was his soul, MUSE was his fire. Confident, artistic, daring. It was like watching someone who had finally stepped into his power. It was more than a follow-up, it was a declaration. I am not just part of BTS, I am Jimin. And now, those two albums have done something absolutely extraordinary. According to Chartmasters, a respected global music industry analysis site, Face and MUSE have officially surpassed 10 million combined album equivalent sales. Let that sink in. 10 million units. What makes this even more astonishing is what album equivalent sales actually mean. This isn't just CDs being sold. This includes streams, downloads, physical purchases. Every way people consume music today. It's a true reflection of global reach, of real impact, of love from millions of fans who press play again and again, not because the songs were trendy, but because they meant something. But Jimin didn't just hit a milestone, he made history. He is now the first and only Korean solo artist ever to cross the 10 million unit mark with just 2 albums. Even more impressive, each of those albums surpassed 5 million units on their own. Let me say that again. Not just one album over 5 million, but 2. This is unheard of. Still not impressed? Let's talk Billboard. Both albums debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, an almost impossible feat for any international solo artist, let alone someone releasing primarily in Korean. And MUSE didn't just chart, it stayed. For 34 weeks, that's more than half a year, the longest charting K-pop solo album in history. Let me put that into perspective. In an industry where songs come and go like the wind, MUSE held its ground for months. Why? Because people didn't just like the music, they felt it. It stuck with them. Jimin's voice, his message, his artistry, everything about it left a mark. And people noticed. World Music Awards, Popcore, Only Vibe, media from around the world have been buzzing about this achievement. This isn't just a win for Jimin, it's a win for Korean music, for solo artists, for storytelling through sound. But maybe the most beautiful part of this story is you, the fans. The ones who stayed up for midnight releases, who streamed on repeat, who bought the albums, shared the lyrics, and cried with every note. This record isn't just Jimin's, it's yours too. Because behind every million units sold is a person, a listener, someone who believed in him. And if this is what he's achieved with just 2 albums, imagine what comes next. So tell me, did you ever think you'd witness this kind of moment in music? One man, 2 albums, 10 million hearts reached, because that's not just success, that's legacy. If this moment moved you even half as much as it moved me, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell, because trust me, the story of Jimin, it's far from over. We're just getting started.